Before we start the video, I have an Instagram. I use it more than YouTube. It's my main social media, and also I have a Patreon buy. Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel. I'm going to teach you how to shade skin. Only the face though, because I was trying to do this tutorial earlier, but it was kind of dragging on, and I don't want this tutorial to be overwhelming and long. I just want it to be short and simple, alright? So today's tutorial is on skin, and skin is a very delicate thing, alright? It's like a main part in your drawing. It's very easy to mess up, and if you mess up, it could be because of the color scheme. It's too like ugly, or it could be like the shading placement, which is like, yeah, it's kind of hard. But skin is a delicate part in art, and it's one of like the main features of your thing, since you're going to be like noticing it the most. So that's why I'm here to help you. So to make a skin color scheme, we're gonna take like a yellowish, a very light yellowish color, like this one, and then instead of going down, you don't want to go down because then it's gonna look very grayish. We're gonna have to go to the right. So like, you need to make white skin look more peachy than grayish. So that's a color scheme, you know. And then we're gonna take we need a reflective color. So to get a reflective color, we're gonna use this light blue and then mix it with this. So Tool SAI has this cool tool. If you have SAI, you can mix it pretty easily. So this is going to be our, reflective color. And now that you know how to pick a color scheme, if you're too lazy to pick a color scheme, you can just copy mine if you want to follow this video. But yeah. So now we're going to make our base color, which is, we already fill in our base color. And then we're going to start shading. So our light source, you got to pick out your light source. It's going to be in front of her, and it's going to be pointing this direction. Just imagine the sun being in front of her, and then it's pointing in this direction. So then we're going to, do it. So with shading skin, you need to remember that there are soft shadows and very hard shadows. So what do I mean by that? So soft shadows are like gradient type shadows that you make with an airbrush tool. Most artists tend to overdo this, and it starts to look kind of fuzzy, and I don't know, I don't know why people do that. I used to do that, but I don't remember why I did that. But yeah, don't overuse the airbrush tool. And then for hard shadows, what I mean by that is like shadows that are very rough. So like, they go from the base color to the shading color immediately. It's not you can't really overdo it. You can overdo shading, of course. You can't really like you can overuse soft shading. It looks weird, but there's like a whole style based on hard shadows that's called cell shading, there's not really, you can like make a drawing only using hard shadows, but don't only make a drawing using soft shadows. It's weird. So let's get right to the shading. So what you are going to notice here is that there's these two bangs going over her face. And to show that it's going over her face, we're going to make these two hard shadows that are going over her face. So like this. We're spacing the hair out, or we're spacing the shadows from her hair to show that there's distance between them. So what we're going to do is make two hard shadows that go like this. And now we're going to put some hard shadows very close to her hair right here, because it's showing that the hair is close to her face. So now I'm going to fill this part in, actually. But you do that. Now we're going to put some shadows on her, hard shadows on the bottom of her head. And then we're going to fill the inner ear with hard shadows. And then we're going to put some hard shadows on her eyelids, like this. Now with the eyelids, you want to blend it towards her eye, because I don't know, but you would have hard shadows on like the outline of the eye, and then you would kind of blur it going in. I can't tell you, it's like kind of like a gray, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. So now we're gonna just fill her neck up with this color of the shading color, because her head's covering her neck, so of course it'd be just filled with the shading color. And then this is pretty much all we can do. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Now we need her nose. Since the sun is in front of her, her nose is kind of like covering this part of her face. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put some shading right here to where like her nose is covering. And then yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take an airbrush tool, and it's time for the soft shadows. So what we're gonna do is like kind of like get a giant airbrush tool, and then we're just kind of once, maybe twice, just cover her face, her bottom face with soft shadows. Don't make it look like, don't overdo it, just kind of make it look faint, so like it doesn't look too much, you know. And then we're gonna put hard shadows. Yeah, I only put it at the bottom of the face. All right, now what we're gonna do is take a hard shadow brush. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Yeah, we're go back to the soft shading with the first shading color, and then we're gonna go below her eyebrows, because we usually have like a little crevice. Little crevice, is that what you'd say? We have like our eyebrows, and then it kind of dips down, so that's kind of representing what is there. So then yeah, now let's go back to our our second color, and then our hard brush. So now this is a stylistic choice. What I like to do is I like to outline where like the two colors meet, and I kind of like to outline that. And then what I like to do is I like to kind of blur it to where it's going inside. But that's a stylistic choice. You don't really have to do that, but I like to do that, so I'm gonna do that. Right. Yeah, so like that. Now we're gonna add a little bit of it here. Don't overdo the second shading color, because we also need to recognize that there is another like a shading color before it, so don't really overdo it with this color. And then we're gonna add some hard shadows to where like these corners are, and to where these corners are. We're gonna blur it a little, and then maybe a little bit in this ear. And then on the neck part, since the neck is being covered right here the most, we're gonna kind of add like a little diagonal line, and then color inside of it, and then just kind of blur it out right here. Yeah, like this. Right, and now that's pretty much all you need for right now. Yeah, now what we're gonna go on is we're gonna go to our reflective color, and then apply this to like the reflective color is the point of it is to make the skin color pop. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a big brush, and then just lightly apply it to where these two big shadows are. And then we're gonna also apply it to where the neck is. Places you should put like the reflective coloring are like big patches of where the hardest shadow is, or the hardest. So like the places where this color is shown the most, put the reflective color there. All right, it's to make it pop and not look as harsh as it really is. So yeah, this is what you should have at this point. We're gonna not put any yeah, don't really put a lot. Maybe here, maybe with the hard brush you just kind of want to put a little bit, but not too much. All right, now at this point you should have this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new layer that's Lumi and shade. Take the base color, take the hard shadow brush, and then we're gonna put like where the highlights of the skin are. So now we're gonna put it, since the sun is going directly down here, we're gonna put it on top of her nose. Now we're gonna put the lighting on top of her nose, since it's being hit by the sun the most. Like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of blur it, maybe like about like this. Yeah, that looks fine. We're gonna put it on the sides of her cheek like this, and now we're gonna put it on like the side of her cheek like this, because these are the places where the sun is hitting the most on. And now we're gonna change the opacity to where you feel the most comfortable it looks at, so I'm gonna leave it about right here. Now make another Lumion shade. Take this airbrush tool, take your soft shadow tool, and then just cover like kind of cover the places where the sun hits the most in her face. So like, don't overdo it. Don't like fill her whole head with the same color, but just where the sun hits the most on her face. So it hits the most right here. Now change the opacity to where you feel the most comfortable with. I feel the most comfortable at maybe about like right here. And yeah. Now at this point, we're gonna make a new layer. All right, this is gonna be another Lumion shade, but this is gonna be like where it makes the drawing also like the shadows pop out more. We're gonna take the hard shadow, very saturated kind of orange, and now we're gonna outline where like the base color and the blue color appear or like meet. So like the reflective color, and like the skin, like, yeah. Like this. You don't overdo this either. And then we're going to change the opacity to where it's faintly showing up, but it's not too noticeable. Right there. And yeah. And now this is optional. When you want to do blush, make a normal layer above the base layer. Take the shading color and then make it just a little bit more red and a little bit more darker. Take the hard shadow brush and just kind of lightly do her, like put it on her cheeks. Like this. And then take your eyedropper tool, take a sample of the cheek color, because it's going to be different than what color you picked. It's going to be different, so you want to take the eyedropper, make it a little bit more darker, change the hue a little bit more darker, take your pen tool and then just do little strokes of you know how blush works. You take little strokes and then just kind of put it on the cheeks like this. And yeah, that is how I do skin, for the face, of course. And then we're gonna, I did, this is just filled with the lips, the nails, and then the makeup, you know, because this is how the drawing is supposed to look. But yeah, if this tutorial helped you, put a like and subscribe to me for more tutorials. I really hope this helped you. I'm not a huge expert on how to describe on how I do skin, but I'm not a great teacher. Yeah, but I really hope it helped you, and see you in the next video.
Drunk tonight, 'cause the feeling's coming too strong.